Certainly. We had a pretty substantial turnover in both the Orleans and Jefferson delegations, of which I'm a member of both. My district spans Orleans and Jefferson Parish along Lake Pontchartrain. So there's certainly, it's a slightly different role. I'm happy to be serving with Representative Carter, who is also a senior member of the delegation, as well as Representative Duplessis and Representative Lyons on the Jefferson side. I believe we are the three most senior members, and Representative Thomas as well. In Jefferson, we have a lot of new members in both of those delegations, and really that can be a positive. It brings fresh ideas, fresh ways of thinking, looking at why are we doing it this way, what can we do to improve things. And so I really relished that fact that we do have these new members. We have a few of our former representatives now on the Senate side, Senator Henry, Senator Talbot, as well as Senator Harris moved over as well. So we've got that seniority over on the Senate side. But yeah, it's definitely, the picture looks different in Orleans and Jefferson Parish as far as our delegations. Certainly making sure that our priorities within, for me, Jefferson and Orleans Parish are funded. City Park is one. It sits within my district. It is a major municipal treasure that is used by both Jefferson and Orleans parishes, really at about a 50-50 rate. It is one of the largest municipal parks in the country, and while it is called New Orleans City Park, it is actually a state entity that runs City Park. So we are, and I've been and talking with other members of our delegation, really fighting for City Park. As we've seen with this pandemic, people are being encouraged to go outside and use these resources, and parks need funding, and a lot of what City Park was doing was self-funding through weddings and Voodoo Festival and all of these fabulous events they put on. Many of those things, due to the COVID restrictions, cannot be done anymore. So we've diminished their funding source, and then we have all of these people going to use those great amenities. So really fighting for City Park, as well as fighting for University of New Orleans, which sits right outside of my district. I'm certainly looking at the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board and its operations. We've looked at that through the Legislative Audit Advisory Committee, and I've had several bills looking at that entity. That's another entity that was actually created by the state in the early 1900s, even though it resides and serves the city solely. Speaking of drainage, we've got a capital outlay project for Jefferson Parish that's in HB2, which would increase the pumping capacity along the 17th Street Canal with Lake Avenue and those streets right in Bucktown. Right now, all of that water is going down to Bonneville. We'd like to see increased drainage capacity such that it could go into the 17th Street Canal right there. So we have a project in HB2 looking to address that. So certainly, I believe with interest rates at near historic lows, we are seeing a robust housing market. Part of my district is the Bucktown area, right along Lake Pontchartrain. We are seeing a tremendous amount of new construction in that area, and continued construction in the Lakeview part of my district. Housing prices seem to be rising, so it seems to be a strong market. I think everyone's in a slightly different situation, and I see it myself. I'm a working mother. I have 2 young children. My children are in school full time because that's what makes sense for my family. I know some other families are looking to homeschool their children, and some people might have comorbidities that make this virus that much more dangerous for them if contracted. And so I think everyone, as we found out more, again, a fluid process with this pandemic, as we found out more about the disease, more about how it affects different individuals, I think people are trying to make the decisions that make the most health sense for them. So if they do have those comorbidities and are at greater risk, they are trying to self-isolate and take those precautions. If they're maybe not in that area, they're trying to, of course, wearing the mask, but going about in a more cautious manner. But as I said, my children are in school full time, and they have a mask mandate for anyone over third grade. So the kids are wearing masks and washing hands and trying to do all those things that we can do to prevent the spread of it. What I'd really like to see is our state moving forward. And when I say that, I want every resident of the state to feel like they have a chance at having a good income, having a stable life. Early education is one of my big efforts that I've championed, putting their child in early education if that's what makes sense for them. I would like to see a renewed sense on adult education. If we have some adults that are underemployed, and you talk to the head of the community and technical college system, their average student is 28, and as Monty Sullivan, who's the head of that system, says, they've been to the school of life. They have maybe worked in a job that is paying minimum wage, they've worked long hours, they're doing everything they can, but their income isn't rising. And we do have jobs in this state that with a certificate or an associate's degree, you can achieve a good income. So I would like for us as a state to look and see how we can get those people that want to get additional educational attainment, get that, stay in the state, work, and prosper, really. So I think that is something I would like to see us do. And I think if we work together, and when I say work together, that's the House, that's the Senate, and that's the governor's office. I think if we unite behind something, that is a powerful thing. And if it's something that's going to move our state forward, what more could we want? In Orleans Parish, if the value of your home has gone up by over 50% or over, you'll receive notice of that increase via certified mail. The rationale behind this is some people during the most recent assessment year did not receive notice of their property increasing. And certainly if your property is going to increase by a large amount, you might want to go out, get an independent appraisal. That can be a bit of a time-consuming process, and so I want to make sure you have as much time as possible. So that notice, if it's 50% or over, will come via certified mail from the assessor, and that's only in Orleans Parish.